Hello traders, Nick Shaheen looking at Plug. Having a bad morning, down 10%, 11%. I believe their headline was something about restating financials. So usually I look at it from a technical perspective and I can make a pretty good guess where the support is going to lie. In this case, if there are issues with what they counted as revenue and it's not revenue or whatever, so people need to do homework because it could be a luck in coffee. I don't know. You might. I don't know. So I'm not judging that part. I'm just talking charts, assuming that whatever they did is not illegal and the company is not going to go away. The chart can help. In fact, that yellow statement, expect sellers, I put that before the dip happened on the way up when it bounced because I was helping somebody in the chat room, to which I have a link down in the description. So first of all, if you don't subscribe to this channel, it's free. You can subscribe to it and put the bell thing so you can get notified of new posts. Those are free. But if you want to be in the chat room where we do this all day, back and forth, every day, even weekends, and live webinars on weekends, then there's a link to subscribe to that. That's not free, but it is free to check it out. The link is to PayPal, $0. Just to make sure that it's real people and not trolls coming in. Almost 300 people in there and all kinds of trading styles. All right, back to the stock. So what I'm saying is the price action was not unreasonable. It hit a level where I expected some sellers and it's faded from it. The size of which today is unreasonable. It's a big dip. But this is where you do your homework and you find out if it's still a healthy business. So let's, speaking of which, actually, I need to educate myself on this one. All right, so we look at the overview annual P&L, so profit and loss statement. Total revenue, 85, 100, 170, small company, and 230, and now a running of 300. So it's headed in the right direction. There is no net income, that's fine. If they're a new company trying to establish something new, having profits is not the thing I look for. So what I look for is price to sales. 54. So there's a lot of hope built into the stock. So it was 2, 3, 5, and then 54. So now suddenly everybody expects when you buy a share, you're giving it 54, almost 55 years worth of credit. What does that mean? It means the share price relative to the stock price relative to the total yearly sales is 55 times. That's pretty dang expensive. So there's a lot of hope in there, hence the disappointments. To give you absolute comparison from a growth company to supposedly a growth company here, Amazon is 4. This is 54. So and Amazon grows 30% for 10 years. Actually, Amazon doubled year over year. So anyway, back to this one. Just like I expect sellers up here on a technical basis, if I'm long, this is not where I panic out. I have a tail from March 5th. That was a pretty strong day on the downside, so that was a good shakeout. And it's being tested here. On top of it, I have a cluster to the left of that matches the size of the tail, basically. So if not here, there should be support through 30.5. Let's call it round number 30. From a technical basis, the problem is not support. First of all, the fundamentals are not going to help it support, especially when they're in doubt. Now, what happens if you lose that 33 level? Technically, now you're open to, I won't say it, but it's going to piss off some people. Oh my God, what did he say? No, I didn't say that. I'm just saying technically you do not want to lose this. How about that? Because this might trigger some selling, a lot of selling, technically. Okay, that doesn't mean it's worth, it should go down there. I'm just saying that this will be a support loss type of a deal. You don't want that. Okay, so ideally you want to bounce here and try to fill the gap. But then you're going to hit the same statement of sellers, only a little bit lower. And this is where the bears is going to try to take over in the price action. So far, nobody has control. They're fighting over control going sideways. Yeah, this is a high, and so they're going sideways. Consolidation is fine. Is when the bulls push off and continue on higher, then they take away the reins from the bears. And that's where the sellers are trying. The bears are trying to take over. So if they take over, then every pop becomes a selling point. So they will pop and sell, and make the battle over this line. And if they can overcome, then they overwhelm. Okay, so technically the target is lower than here, but I don't want to discuss it. Step one is hold. So it's okay to battle. That was the VIX conversation. So if you're trying to hold and you're setting lower highs, that's fine. So they're going to try to do this. And what the bulls want is they want to snap out of this and definitely not lose that, because that's what the bears are after. You tighten the range from this wide to a point, then there's a battle. So the way you break out of it, kind of like this, or you just capitulate lower. And then you talk about some sort of a stance here. The battle is ongoing. I'm just saying what the bulls need to do is not let the bears develop this descending trend. So the pops, the bears will try to sell them. And if the bulls can do that, then they stop the damage. So concentrate on who's got control, not where it's at. This is where it's at. Who has control of the price action? So what happens to the pops if they come? So that's the critical point. That's it. I mean, it's as simple as that. Who's in charge of the price action? That's how you can kind of foretell what's going to happen next. Is the pop going to have another leg higher, follow through? No. Okay, it got sold. At what level? And then is the pop, did it make better progress the last time? And if it did, then the bears start losing that opportunity to take control. So far, they don't have control. They just have one bad tick. They could develop control by letting them pop and then smacking them right back down at a lower level. So the next pop, if it comes up and fills the gap and fails, nothing happened. Come back and comes to here and fails. So the bears are making headway. The bulls are still doing job number one, hold. But job number two, more important than holding, is trying to get away from this descending. All right, that's it. That's as simple as that, price action. And of course, what I said before, what's going on with the restatement? That is a fundamental question. Hopefully they're not like cheating or something. Maybe it's just an honest mistake of sorts.